Hello, everybody. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Hope all going well with you. Let's start. And I can say now, welcome to iExperts webinars. Today we have our webinar on the CISSP and the CISM. We will make a comparison here between the CISSP and Certified Information Security Manager CISM. We will answer many questions here. So I invite you in the beginning of the conference here and the beginning of our webinar to drop and write down your questions. If you have any question, please write down your question in the chat. So because we will answer all of your questions here after the presentation. Our presentation today, it will be for around 40 minutes. And then we will start to accept your questions regarding the CISSP and CISM. Let's start with a very important question here. Fine. What is the meaning of CISM? We will speak about CISM, find everything on CISM, then CISSP, then we will ask and make the comparison between both. First of all, what is the meaning of CISM, Certified Information Security Manager? Here, it's extremely important certification for you in your career path. If you are planning to be one day, if you are planning to be certified information security manager, if you want one day to be CISO, certified information system, certified information security officer or chief information security officer, here is a CISO that usually in the modern organization we require to have CISO. CISO here, he is or she is the person that is dedicated for the information security and working with C-level. Why C-level here? To work with the remaining team of the upper management here, with the directors, with the chief operating officer, chief executive officer, and so on. So we need here somebody to work on a strategic level, so we will need a CISO. If both are exist on the same organization, CISO and CISM, CISO and Certified Information Security Manager, I mean ISM. So mainly we will need here to define different rules and responsibilities. Here we can say the CISO is more related to the governance, more related to the upper management, and the information security manager, he will be more related to the operation. Here in the CISM, this great certification from ISACA, fine, it's covering the content here in 4 domains. Domain number 1, it is the information security governance. In this domain, you will learn more about the governance. What is the difference between governance and management? You will see the big picture. You will see the big picture here, and we can say that here, for example, we can study something like this. We can study something like this here in our slides, the GRC, the governance risk compliance. We will understand more about the governance that is defined by setting directions and objectives. And we will differentiate between governance and management. Management here, implementing activities to achieve business objectives. This is the management, implementing activities to achieve business objectives, to achieve predefined objectives. So the governance show you the way to perform, to work, to design your program. And the management here, it is how to implement, how to play this role, how to enhance your experience, and how to achieve the, the, the upper management goals and enhance their experience in the information security. To make sure that you are working on the correct track and on the right track, here we can say that all the management activities must be mapped to the governance here, fine, and must be mapped for predefined objectives. Then we can say that we can go into some details here in this governance, and we can speak about the GRC, governance risk compliance. This great pyramid here, fine, that has some upper stones and some cornerstones. The cornerstones can be the compliance and the risk management. Risk management is not just only a cornerstone, no. It is here one of the pillars of this big building, one of the pillars of this big building. Why? Because it is known as it is one of the output of the governance. Don't tell me, don't inform me, don't say that I have a governance without having here real risk management operation inside your organization here. Without having here real risk management, we cannot say that we have a real governance. Then we will define the security strategy. We will under all of this in the domain number one. In the security strategy, you will know more about the goals, the defined objectives, the desired state, the risk objectives. So we will assure here the mapping between the security objectives and the business objectives. Yeah, it's extremely important. Extremely important to have something like that, to have mapping between the security objectives and the business objectives. Why? Because any deviation from the business objectives, which has been that the security is not working well. I'm not asking you as an information security manager to achieve the best practice, to achieve the world and the international standards and the best practice here of the information security. Maybe this best practice here is not suitable for my organization, is not good for my organization, so I will not be able to accept. What I want to achieve here is something that can help me to achieve my business objectives. Maybe sometimes I will need this PCI DSS, this compliance. Sometimes no. Sometimes I will need the ISO 27201. Sometimes no. Sometimes I will need you to let me be compliant with some local regulation. Fine. For my business. So you have to understand the business objectives well and make sure that all of your objectives is mapped to a security, is mapped to a business objectives. Then we can start here from the blue part. This is the management. I can develop a program. Fine, this program contain here incident handling, security policies and procedures, security awareness, audit, fine, compliance, achieving a specific level of compliance or something like that. Fine. So at the end of the day, we can say that here in the GRC, it will be very important for you to understand. In the domain number one here is to understand the full picture. Then it is not a surprise to go in the domain number two, the risk management. Yeah, this is a tool in your hand as an information security manager. Remember, as an information security manager, you have to have a tool in your hand, assuming here that, like the worker, he has some tools in his hand to be able to do his job. The same for you. You will not be able to do your job without this tool. This tool here, it is the information security, it's the information risk management. Here we have to define the scope of the risk management, design the framework that we will use, and then understand how to design and how to start our information risk management here, and how to join the join, if we have, for example, risk department in our organization, how to be a part of this risk management or risk department here. For example, in banks, they have risk department, dedicated department for the risk, dedicated department for the risk. So at the end of the day, we can say that here we have to understand more and more about the risk management and how to prioritize our activities. Let me usually I ask this question here. Let me ask you, if we have, for example, two projects, two-factor authentication and the next generation firewall, with which one we have to start with? With which one we have to start with? Huh? Can you answer? Next generation firewall or two-factor authentication? The correct answer is it is based on the risk that it will mitigate. Yeah, in some cases, the next generation firewall, it will be the best to mitigate the risk. Some other cases, the two-factor authentications will be the best to mitigate the risk. Then in domain number three, we will go to the security program, the beginning of the management, if you remember from our graph. Fine. Yes, here we can say, yeah, this is domain number three. Domain number three, the security program here. So here in the security program, We can say that in the security program, we will understand how to establish a good program, contain a good awareness, a good audit, a good regular audit of the compliance level, contain here some sort of policies updates and awareness and managing for all the activities of the information security, lead the information security and manage the risk that surrounds the organization. This is the best. Then we have in domain number 4, information security incident management. We will learn more about the incident management and how we cover the incident handling and how we will be ready for the incident before it happen. Before it happen. Fine. Then who should be CISM? Who should go for this certification? Anybody that is ready, information security manager, or want to be information security manager, information security officer, heads in the information security, the supervisor in the information security, governance managers and directors, the risk managers, the information security risk managers. Then we can say that after this training here, you will be able to understand the governance. You'll be able to achieve here the information security governance inside your organization. Here, you will be aware how to manage the information security inside your organization. Here, you can say that I have real outcomes from the governance. First, strategic alignment with the business goals. You understand what's the meaning of strategic alignment? It is different from just alignment. No, strategic alignment, which is mean when I see a solution, when I see when I want to initiate project, I consider the strategic objectives for the organization. It is not just short-term objectives will be achieved. No, we will achieve something on the long term. Then number 2 in the risk management. Risk management here, it is one of the output of the risk of the governance here. So which is mean that, for example, the example that I just discussed a couple of minutes ago, which project I will start with, next generation firewall or two-factor authentication, it will be based on the risk. Sometimes it will be two-factor authentication, sometimes next generation firewall. Number 3, value delivery. Each activity that you are making, it's deliver specific value. It's deliver huge value for you. Resource optimization. You will optimize the resources inside the organization. So this must be considered in your business cases when you discuss this with your upper management. Performance measurement. Why? Because we understand that what you cannot measure, you cannot manage. Remember this. Anything that you cannot measure, you will not be able to manage. So we have to have a performance measurement here. Assurance process integration, and then we must have an integration find between all the department activities. So one of these approaches that ISACA provided for us is to establish something we call it Security Steering Committee. Security Steering Committee. Then let's go for the preparation. How we can prepare for the exam? First of all, you have to read the review manual, ISACA review manual, the official book, the official study guide for this exam. Then you have to go and pass by the review questions and answers. It will not be the same questions like the ones that you will see in the exam, but it will prepare you how to understand ISACA questions inside the exam. Fine. Let's see the roadmap here. First, you have to design your plan, your study plan. Then attend CISM training. Why at training here? The training can cut short from 30 to 50% of your road. Yeah, the training here and getting the experience here of the CISM from an expert, this will help you too much to understand the framework. This will help you too much to be able to read the review manual faster and with a deep understanding. This will help you too much here is to go to the next step, find by to answer the questions here, find with open mind, with a mind that can understand the framework. So this will be very helpful for you. We will go then to prepare study notes. From the course that you will attend, you will take some notes. From the questions that you will answer, you will take some notes. From the review manual, you will also write some notes. It will be a summary, some notes here in your hand. This notes here will help you too much to pass the exam because you understand how to answer the game. Understand how to you understand how to answer and give the questions here and give the correct questions here, depending on the method that you will use in the exam. Usually, I like to read the question twice, read the answers one time, reread the question again, then start to exclude. Again, I'm reading the question twice, read the answers, reread the question. Yeah, very important. Your understanding for the question here, it is 70 or 80% of your answer, or maybe be more. Maybe you have a stopwatch with you, fine, so you can select, fine, you can start to set, for example, to answer the question in a minute. You have to do this quickly. You have to do this. You have to train yourself to do this. Then you will schedule your exam and be certified. Nowadays, because of COVID-19, ISACA provided you with the ability to have exam on home, to have remote proctor from outside that will monitor you and monitor your answers. The exam cost here, it is for the ISACA members, it's $575. For non-members, $760. For the questions and for the questions, you will get 150 questions MCQ. The duration is 4 hours, so it is an opportunity. You are lucky. When I passed my CISM, it was 200 questions. In 4 hours, it was paper-paced. So 200 questions in 4 hours, fine, which is mean it's something very the time was very tight. But today you have the chance 150 questions in 4 hours, which is mean here that you have around less than 2 minutes for the question here, and which is good, the domain percentage here, and this very important point: 24% of the exam questions, it will be from domain number 1. 30% of the exam question, it will be from domain number 2, risk management. 27% of the exam questions will be from domain number 3. 19% of the exam question will be from domain number 19, from domain number 4, the incident management. Here, it is not your job to classify the question, to ask yourself, is this is related to domain number 1 or domain number 3? It is not your job. Your job is to study and to cover all the domains. Why? Because if you cover domain number 1, domain number 2, domain number 3, and it happened with many persons, by the way, you didn't cover domain number 3, number 4 well, do you know what will happen? You will pass domain number 1, you will pass domain number 2, you will pass domain number 3, and because you didn't pass domain number 4, you will not be passed totally in the exam. Fine, you can get an email, fine, we are very sorry that you didn't pass the exam. Your total score is 440. However, the passing score is 450. Your total score is 440 because, and your score in each domain as following: domain number 1, 520, domain number 2, 550, domain number 3, 530, but domain number 4 is 420, which is means the total is 440. You didn't pass. Oh no, which is mean here my advice that you have to cover all the questions before the exam. Here you have to have 5 years of experience before getting your certifications. However, there is a waiver here considered by ISACA. If you have CISA, if you have CISSP, so they will waive here 2 years. The same also if you have post-graduate degree in information security. 1 year here, 1 year experience, fine. 1 year experience, and we will waive 1 year here if you have 1 year full paid of information security management experience, or you have some certifications like Competium Security Plus and SANS, the Information Assurance Certification, and so on. Let's start with CISSP, and then we can ask the questions here. I am reminding you, if you have some questions, please write down in the chat. Please write down on the chat box so I can answer your questions here. Here in the CISSP, It stands for Certified Information System Security Professional. Of course, this is the most welcomed certification for technical and non-technical people. You can imagine that CISSP nowadays in Europe it's considered as equivalent for master degree. That's real. It's happened since around 7 months ago. Fine, that it's good considered as a master degree in Europe. You can imagine. Yes, because you are CSSP. You are CSSP. As we saw here, fine, we will ask you for to prove experience. We will ask you to prove experience. Fine, if you was here, for example, 5 years in CISM, fine, but I will waive 2 years. If you are CSSP, I will ask you for just three, because it's CISSP. CISSP here, fine, it's the most respected certification in the world of cybersecurity. Usually I say, soon or later, if you are working in the world of cybersecurity, you will be CISSP certified. Today or tomorrow. Today or tomorrow. Fine. Today, when you just started your career path, or after spending 25 years or more, you will see that it is the time to be CISSP. Why? Because CISSP here, it's covering almost all the domains that you can imagine in the cybersecurity. CISSP, CISSP, it's 8 domains. Of course, before in the old versions, it was 10 domains. It was 10 domains. So nowadays, Ahmed, it's 8 domains, which is mean less content? No. The 2 domains, the encryption and the the physical security, became a part of domain number 3, the security architecture and engineering. So in the first domain here, it's considered as 15% of the exam. It's information security and risk management. Almost we can say it is the half of the it's the half of the CISM exam. Almost it's considered as the half of the exam. It's the half of the CISM content. You can see in just domain number 1 here. Yeah, information security management, governance, and risk management. Fine. So at the end of the day, we then, after finishing domain number 1, you will go to domain number 2, small domain, speaking about asset security, about classification, about the rules and responsibilities of the information of everybody that is working in the world of cybersecurity. Fine. Then you will go to domain number 3, and actually it is 3 domains in 1 domain. 3 domains, yes, because at the end of the day, this domain here, excuse me, then we can say in this domain it is 3 domains in 1 domain. Yeah. The security architecture, you will understand more about SAPSA model, about TOGAF model. What is the meaning of architecture? Let me ask you this question here. What is the difference between architecture and design? Again, this is a very difficult question. It is not easy for everybody to answer. Yeah, architecture and design. Architecture here, it's considered as the preparation phase for the design. So you design the architecture, then you build your design. Yeah. So in the security architecture here, you will find how to consider the risk before build your system. Consider the security controls before build your systems. Close your eyes as an architect and see the big picture. How the system will operate after building the system. Maybe we have a risk here, so let's include in the design a control to mitigate this risk. Oh no. This is the difference between the buildings that depend on some architecture and depend on some architecture technique, fine, and depend on a good architect to build the architecture for them, and the other persons that do not do that. Then in the section number 2, in the same domain, it is the 2 old domains that I told you. Cryptography. we will discuss everything related to cryptography. Then physical security, we will cover everything that is related to physical security and the types of the fire suppression systems that you have to use in the data centers, the security controls, the access controls, the logical and the physical, and everything related to physical, logical, it's in other domains. Then we'll go to domain number four. Domain number four, communication and the network security. This is more related to the communication and the network and how you can transfer the data between network and the network in a safe manner and in a safe way. Fine. Remember here that we have many updates here related to cloud computing, IoT, artificial intelligence, and you have to expect something like that in the exam. You have to expect that you will have many questions related to the information related to the IoT, Internet of Things, cloud computing. So you read a lot of you read a lot of materials. The domain number five, identity and access management, IAM. Now it is not just access control. The old name for this domain was access controls. Today it is IAM, identity and access management. It is not just access controls nowadays. It is the art of identifying people. How we can identify, how we can use identity as a service, cloud-based services nowadays. What are the modern APIs that we can use for our applications to use and to let our applications here communicate with each others here? Then in domain number six, we will discuss the security assessment and testing. We will discuss here the security testing, like the penetration testing, the vulnerability assessment, all the types of the testing that you have to consider. Fine, to make sure that your systems it's working well and managed in a good way. Then we will go to security operation. It's another big domain. Security operation, we will cover many security operation topics like disaster recovery, like business continuity, like how we can operate and how we can operate our data centers from security operational perspective. The security operation also, it will cover some sort of incident handling and the forensic investigation. Fine, it is really good domain and helping you too much to operate the security. Then we'll go to software development security. Yeah, the main reason of the persons being hacked, the applications, the poor development, the ignoring of the information security while we are developing our application, the ignoring of the application development security, the ignoring of the security inside the SDLC, software development lifecycle. You have here to consider the information security inside your organization, simply inside your applications as well. So you have to use something we call it double SDLC, secure software development lifecycle. Here you will learn here how to use threat modeling like STRIDE model, how to perform risk assessment behind the analysis, how to design the security controls in the beginning of the project, and the cost of these controls will be at minimum when you consider from first day. Then how to write secure code. Then we will make a code review. We will make some SAST analysis, security analysis, security static analysis, security testing. Fine, for the application here. Fine. Then we will make software testing. Behind software testing, we will make security testing using some DAST, dynamic analysis security testing tools. Fine. And finally, how to make penetration testing for your application. This is the journey of the CISSP. Fine. As you know, as you see here, fine, who should be CISSP? First, the IT persons. Yes, if you are working on the IT on a high level, like something like CIO or something like that, you have to know the information security and take a comprehensive knowledge on the CISSP like that. The certified information security, the chief information security officers, the information security managers, the director of security, the IT directors and managers, network architects. Yes, this course, to be honest, is addressing the architects. is addressing the architect, the security analysts, the security architect, the security auditors, the consultants, the security managers, fine, the system engineers, the penetration testers. Yeah, all of this, it will help you too much to know more about the about the how to consider the information security in total inside your organization. How to prepare to CISSP? Of course, we have official materials. This book, the official study guide from CIBEX, find the 8th edition. This is the latest edition. And the official practice test also from CIBEX. However, this it's official books. However, we have also the CBK from the IS Squared. What is the preparation trip here, fine, or journey? Fine, you have to design your project plan. It is project. It is project. Really, it is a project. Fine. This project here start with the designing, dedicate a time every day. Then you have to attend CISSP training. Again, it will help you too much to explore this great body of knowledge. You have to read the book, answer many questions, use some flashcards, fine. Read some nest publications you will get, fine, when you study, fine. Read the glossary, fine, of the book here. Prepare and practice on flashcards that give you some definitions. Write study notes. However, it will be huge notes. Schedule your exam, be certified. The exam is nowadays, it's CAT, Computer Adaptive Test. What's the meaning of that? Within 3 hours, you will get from 100 to 150 questions. My advice for you is consider it will be 150 questions. Fine. If you passed from the first 100 question, you will pass the exam, and we will say, okay, thank you, you passed the exam. You will get the result immediately. If you didn't pass and you didn't fail, we will say, fine, you have another questions. You have another questions here, fine, until you got 150 questions. After 150 questions, and the majority of the persons that usually I ask, the persons that attend our classes, fine, how many questions that you got, they answer usually 150, and you will get the result immediately, fine. The duration, it is 3 hours exam. The passing score is 70%. Remember, it is CAT exam. You will see the question. The next button will not work until you select an answer, MCQ. Once you select an answer and click the next, you will not be able to see this question again and change your answer. It's just one button, next, next, next. It's only this way, which is mean here that if you remember during the exam, my answer for the question number 9 wasn't correct, it's over. You will not be able to do this. But in ISACA, in CISM, you can review your questions, you can mark for review, you can skip some questions and avoid to answer, fine, and so on. Here, you can see here also, you have to have 5 years. You have to have 5 years, fine, 5 years experience, fine, to get your certifications here. However, paid work in 2 or more of the 8 domains here, fine, of the CISSP. This was about the CISSP, which one you have to start with, which one you have to consider, fine. This is as per your career path. This is as per what you want to be. If we make a comparison between the size, CISSP is bigger than the CISM. CISSP is bigger than the CISM. If we compare the values, we cannot say one is bigger than each other's. Both are respected, both. But this is information security management. This is more related to the architecture. If you are working as information security manager, I recommend for you both. Yeah, both. Fine. So I have a question here. Fine. How long it will take to complete CISM and CISSP? Very good question. Thank you. When we return here for the journey of the CISSP, usually we are saying it's from from 4 to 6 months to pass the exam. But this in self-study mode. If you got a training, fine. The training here can let you change the time and cut short the way to study, fine, from 2 to 3 months after the training in the CISSP. In the CISM is different. In the CISM is different. In the CISM here, Certified Information Security Manager here, usually the trip is around here from 2 to 4 months here in self-study. Fine, maybe you need more, maybe less, maybe more. Fine, but if you attend a training here, it can cut short for you sometimes, so you can prepare. Fine, you can get and schedule your exam from 6 weeks to 12 weeks after the exam. Fine, 1 month and a half and to 3 months is maximum after the exam. Fine, but this is including preparation. Every day you have to dedicate some hours for the exam and so on. How much the cost of the CISSP? It is different based you are in Europe or USA or Africa. It is $700. If you are based in USA, Africa, Middle East. If you are working in Europe, 699 or 700 euros in Europe. In UK, I can't remember, but it's around the same numbers here. It's around 550 of pounds or 560 pounds, which is mean it's also equivalent to $730 or something like that. Fine. And remember here that you have to maintain here. Fine. Something like that. Fine. How much is the CISSP certification cost? Oh, yeah, we got this question. Would you recommend doing the SSCP certification prior to CISSP? To be honest, no. SSCP, the security practitioner here certification, it is entry level. It is entry level. Fine. So if you don't have any experience in cybersecurity at all, fine, you can go for the SSCP. But if you have some experience here, related to how you can working experience and so on, so I recommend to start with the CISSP. It will be something very, 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 very great, fine, to start this journey, fine, without going to introduction course or something like that. However, you can cover the missed topics through some materials and so on. Another question: do you have materials you can share for one start? Again, the materials, this is the ones that I shared here, fine, with you. This is the materials that we have to have here, fine. You have here, you can purchase nowadays. I see that the cost, this can cost you for on Amazon $100 or something like that. Fine, you can find a bundle and you can find a discount on both, so you can purchase here for $100. This is the main materials that you have to purchase. Fine, another persons are purchasing another materials, another flashcards to be able to pass the exam. However, this is the basics. Do you have another questions? Anybody? If you can write on the chat, please. Here, it's also a very good point to say that you can here use this official study guide. This is the size of this book. It's 1,450 page. Fine. So in average, we can say that you have to read around 3,000 to 4,000 page, including these two books. You have to read here some materials like the security guidance from Cloud Security Alliance. This gave you the basics of the cloud security. In addition to that, also you can use some answers, some questions and answers. You can purchase some databases or something like that. But again, forget to see known questions here that you prepared before the exam inside the exam. All the exam questions, it will be new questions for you. Don't expect to get traditional exam questions. Don't expect something like that. All the questions here, it will be new questions related to the new technologies. Remember this. And remember this, that you must understand also the CIA. The CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability. Your understanding for the CIA will help you too much. Will help you too much to answer all the questions here. Keeping CIA in mind all the time. So this will let you pass all the CISSP exam questions. Thank you for attending. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for attending this webinar. Don't forget to follow iExperts 10. You can write just iExperts 10 on mainly LinkedIn, our main page. Find our on LinkedIn, on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and on YouTube. We have, you can see the recording of this session also on YouTube. Fine. Subscribe to the weekly webinars. We have webinars on weekly basis. We discuss many topics. Usually, as you see, the webinar in total, it can be 45 minutes. Fine. On weekly basis, this can help us to exchange our experience and know more fine about the technologies and about how we can change the and enhance our experience and enhance our knowledge and change our current security status to the better one, to enhance our security status here. And this will be very, very helpful for you and for everybody that is working in your organization. Thank you very much. Thanks again for your time, and see you. Thank you. Bye bye.